Now, I've owned a lot of cap and ball revolvers, but my new favorite 36 caliber is my Uberti 1861 Navy. This thing is really nice. It shoots really well. It's very, very accurate. And I like it over the 51. As much as I like the 51s, I just like the 61 a little bit better. And so Derek and I were out shooting it the other day, and we started talking about how a lot of people, including me once upon a time, were of the opinion that the 36s are just anemic. They're just wimpy. And that's why they went with the 44s. And there might be some truth to that. Now, I've often heard 36 caliber navies, or we'll just call them navies, because there are some not real navies that are in 44, the evil fantasy guns and all that stuff. But we won't talk about those ones. We'll try and stay historical for this video. So the navies, being in 36 caliber, are just kind of wimpy. And I think the reason why most people think that, and I used to as well, is because if you're using 15 grains of GoX and an 80 grain round ball, you'll probably be around 700 feet per second or so. So you got an 80 grain ball moving 700 feet per second. Not exactly a bear stopper or cartridge, But it wasn't until I started using higher quality powder like 3F Swiss, or, well, Swiss in general, I suppose, where I found that if you were to use 25 grains in a round ball in one of these things, they are not exactly wimpy. So I'm going to show you this footage here of Derek and I just shooting on a Sunday, having a good time, where we test 3F Swiss with a Hornady swaged 80 grain ball and these Navy Conicals. Now, these are cast from an Era's Gone bullet mold, and they're really nice. I really do like these. They work really well. I get pretty good accuracy with them. And they are also historically accurate. This was a conical that was very prevalent in the 19th century. Now, we also did a little bit of a powder test with this that I'll show you guys, because I don't think I'm going to do a full video on it. It's a new mill with a new container that we only milled for 12 hours. So it wasn't as powerful as the Swiss powder, but the good news is we were able to get GoX power in 12 hours. So that was really promising. So I'll show you that too, but mostly we'll test the kind of velocity and energy that you can get with your Uberti 1861 Navy using 3F Swiss. The people that see me push the caps on with the nipple or with the hammer, and they get upset about that, and they say, why do you do that? That's dangerous. And it's like, well, because that's how they stay, and that's how I could shoot it. And they say, well, haven't you ever seen the movies? You're supposed to fire, boom, and when you cock it, you go like this. And it's like,
that's John Wayne shit.
Yeah, it's like, are you guys basing your entire history off of shit you've seen in the movies?
I mean,
I like John Wayne too, but yeah, one guy even said, it's like, if you read any manual, that's what they tell you to do. Point the revolver at the sky and cock it so the cap comes out. It's like,
no,
what? What manual is this that you're referring to?
A John Wayne movie. That man.
The only time I've ever seen the reference to, cocking the hammer and pointing it at 12 o'clock is in a manual from like 1875. When everyone was running cartridge guns, well, everybody, the military
had already started.
Yeah, so if somebody out there has this, can you show me? I would like to see it. I'm not above being completely wrong, but people cite, well, if you've read any manual, I have read manuals, several of them actually, and I've
never come across that before.
Yeah, I haven't seen this. You guys are, that apparently everybody knows but me. So where are we at right here? 45 yards?
45.
Well, let's see if we can't put a few on there with the 61 Navy. One. Oh, that's right. You got to go like this when you cock it, right? Two. There's always one.
There's always one.
There's always one.
Damn it, there's always one.
This thing shoots so nice, man.
Yeah, you seem to like that thing a lot.
I do. It's probably my favorite 36 cal 6 gun.
Really?
Yes.
Why exactly?
Well, one, it seems to shoot pretty nice.
Yeah.
Two, I like the loading lever better. I like the creeping loading lever like the 1860 Armies have. I like you have a little bit more room to get a conical in there than you do over the 51 Navy. Not that I dislike the 51s, but man, this thing and I just get along really good.
Yeah, I've noticed you've been shooting it a lot.
I have. I really like it.
And the thing looks like it just shoots bitchin'.
Let me try it. Let me try it one-handed. See if I can't make it look really embarrassing.
Okay, sounds good. Extra embarrassing.
All the embarrassments. And this is our homemade powder roger. This is our
That 12-hour.
This is our 12-hour stuff.
Boy, that stuff is impressive for only being tumbled for 12
For only
hours.
being milled for 12 hours, man.
It's pretty damn good.
Yep, it's pretty good.
So that would be real bitchin' if we can cut our mill time in half just by using a different drum.
Yeah.
Get 48-hour performance out of a 12-hour.
Got a 24-hour mill.
Or yeah, sorry, 24.
Well, we're already doing pretty good at 12.
Yeah.
So I'm kind
We're
of
getting
thinking
like better than 24 hours out of a 12-hour.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, okay, we are. We're getting better than 24-hour mill powder, and we're doing it in 12.
Yeah.
So that's
good stuff.
that's
I like that.
that's good.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, people think that I dislike Remingtons. You know, because we destroyed that one, which
Honestly, wasn't on purpose.
I know, and people think that we did it on purpose.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I remember we didn't want to show that for the longest time because we didn't want to be right. We don't want people thinking that we're like the whistling diesel of guns, where it's like we're just going to destroy stuff for views.
Yeah. So it's not that I dislike Remingtons. It's not the case at all. Mine seems to shoot pretty well. I did have another chain fire with it off camera.
Yep.
At the muzzleloader shoot a couple weeks ago, which is why we decided to switch to 4.57s instead of 4.54s, which I've been shooting 4.54s for like 15 years, 18 years or something.
Forever.
All right, well, let's see how we do one-handed at 45 yards. Probably embarrassing. Don't know. Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
I don't even know, dude.
I don't know. It was going so well. I got one more. What happened?
Big old chunk of dirt off to the side of it.
It's like when people say, like, you know, you need to shoot one-handed. You stop using both hands. No. It doesn't look appropriate.
Well, no.
You know, it's like, oh, you're using both hands with something like this. That's just wrong. Well, dude, go ahead and do it wrong, I guess.
You shoot one-handed and miss, and I'll shoot with two hands and win.
Yeah, yeah. Like, why do you hold your tongue like that when you shoot? Because it helps me hit better. I don't know. Well, let's try 25 grains and a round ball. Not that I think that's going to improve my accuracy or anything.
It'll just be going faster as it misses.
Well, I used to be of the opinion, that's not what I wanted. I used to be of the opinion that 36 caliber guns were just wimpy. Because most of the time you see people shoot them and they're using 15 grains of 3F Goex and a round ball. But if you use a full chamber of powder, 25 or 27 grains, it has some more gumption. Not that it's, 44 cal power.
It's still deadly.
Yeah, because I bet with a full chamber and a round ball, it's probably moving, 1,000 feet per second or so?
Yeah, definitely in the high 9s.
Let me just try a couple really quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see. So these are about an 80 grain ball, right?
Are they?
Yeah, 80 or 81, I think. Well, I got 3 in there for the full chamber, so let's just see what it does. $1,044.
Good.
$1,044.3. 1,041.
That's a tight damn spread.
Well, that's with our cheesy powder. Well, now I wish I would have loaded up all 6. I wanted it. It's going so well. So yeah, that averaged 1,043
with a 3 foot per second spread.
Yeah.
That's I wouldn't call that cheesy powder. I'd call it bitchin'.
Well, you want me to put 3 shots worth of Swiss through it and see what it does? Let me just do it real quick.
Yeah, why not?
I'm sure that people are gonna be like, "Why are you only loading 3? What the?" No. Sometimes I just feel like doing shit stupid.
That's not Swiss. I was just about to say,
This is Swiss.
yeah.
That is most definitely Swiss. Tell by how shiny it is.
Yep.
All right. So our homemade stuff averaged 1,044. And now we'll try a few shots with 25 grains of 3F Swiss with a round ball. Woo! 1270.
Dang.
Boy, it is tough to beat that Swiss, man. I tell you. $12.64. $12.44.
Well, okay, maybe it is cheesy.
It's so cheesy when you compare it to Swiss, right?
Yeah.
When you compare your powder to Go-X, it's like, oh wow, this is
Yeah,
bitchin'.
this
And then you
shit's
compare it to
awesome.
Swiss, and it's like, it's okay. Yeah, so that was what, 150.
No, about 100.
200.
About
200 feet per second worth of difference there.
Solid 200 feet.
In this. It's okay. It's still promising though, because that's only a 12-hour mill.
Yeah, that is only 12 hours.
Yeah.
So good stuff, man.
Now, when we shot your 32 the other day, that was moving what? Right at about 1,000, 1,050?
I think it was.
We did chrono it. I'll put a picture of it right
I think
here.
it was about 1,000.
Yeah, and those are pretty similar to this too. They're 72 or 75.
Yeah.
And these are 80.
74 or 72, I think.
Something like that.
Itty bitty.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? The ammo's in there.
I'm pretty sure. 73.
73 grain. So you got about an 80 grain ball moving 1250 versus a 32 auto.
Going
a 72 grain ball.
Going about 11,
1,000.
1,000 and change.
So way more and bigger diameter because
Yeah.
you're talking like true 38.
Yeah.
So I imagine the TKO on something like this is going to knock the shit out of a 32 auto.
Yeah, 100%.
Because because people say like, oh well, these are wimpy, and I thought that too when I was younger. Yeah, because you're shooting 15 grains of GoX and a round ball, and it's moving 700 feet per second. Yeah, that's pretty lame.
Put 25 grains or 20 grains in a conical in there.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially you use 15 or 18 grains of good powder and a conical. It's right up there with pretty good 38 special. Not, plus P jacketed hollow point shit, but any lead round nose 38 special. So they're not exactly wimpy at all. I got that dog back in November with my 51 Navy, and that was 140 grain conical.
Yeah.
And it knocked him dead.
That did.
So yeah, they're not wimpy. Again, I don't know that I'd use one for buffalo hunting or anything like that, but for social work, as they put it, especially in the 1860s, pretty deadly.
Yeah.
There's something in Six Guns, I think it's in Six Guns, one of Elmer Keith's book, where he's talking to an old Civil War vet. And they asked him how they did it, and he said that they'd fill the chamber up with powder, slam a ball on it, and go, and they'd clean it with spit. That's how'd you clean your gun? I cleaned it with spit.
Yeah. Didn't even bother using river water.
So yeah, if you're using a full chamber of good powder, that's pretty serious.
Yeah, that's serious stuff, man.
We did the conicals. Did we? I didn't chrono it when we were at the muzzleloader gig, did I? Because I was shooting conicals there.
No, we didn't have the chrono with us. Well, if we did, then we didn't bother whipping it out.
Let me just put a few shots with the conicals, because I got some 140 grain conicals. But we'll just put a couple through it with these Era's Gone Navy conicals. These weigh 140 grains, and they're deadly on coyotes, I can assure you that. Let's see, these weigh 140 grains ish. And people forget too that, conicals were very popular in the 19th century. And I think that's another reason why, most people shoot round balls, and it's like, oh, it's an 80 grain round ball. Oh, that's wimpy. So this is 15 grains of 3F Swiss with our 140 grain Navy conical. .816. 780. 780.8. So yeah, 793. That sounds a lot like 38 special to me.
Yeah.
Not wimpy.
Yeah, far from it.
Not wimpy at all. No, that's Swiss. That's 15 grains of Swiss.
Yeah.
So if you're using lesser quality powder, you can expect lower velocity and all that. But yeah, not wimpy at all, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like this thing. So what do you think? Would you call that anemic? Would you call that wimpy? I guess it's all a matter of what you compare it to. So with 25 grains of 3F Swiss and an 80 grain round ball, we saw an average velocity of 1259.7. I think we could round up and call that 1260. That is pretty good. That gives us 281 foot-pounds of energy. And if you compare that to just about any basic bitch 38 special load, that is really good. In fact, it beats a lot of your basic bitch 38 special load, especially if you're looking at lead round nose or wad cutters. In fact, there's even a few on here, if you just look through the chart, that it does better than some of the plus P loads in terms of energy. Now, does that mean it's going to outdo Buffalo Bore plus P 38 special? Well, no, not according to the chart anyway. As for the 15 grains of 3F Swiss with a 140 grain conical, we saw an average of 793, making 195 foot-pounds of energy. So almost 100 foot-pounds less than the round ball load. As far as comparing the Navies to 32 Auto, It beats the snot out of 32 auto, both in energy and Taylor knockout figures. It also beats 380 in just about all foot-pound of energy, and Taylor knockout figures is closer. It's actually much closer to your run-of-the-mill 9mm. The 9mm appears to still beat it in energy and TKO figure, but it's a lot closer to a 9mm than it is to a 380 and even 32 auto. Again, is it wimpy? It doesn't seem that way to me. Now, as far as the round ball is concerned, when I got home, I picked up my copy of Six Guns and I read the chapter on cap and ball revolvers. And I don't see eye to eye with Elmer on everything. And I'm far from a Elmer Keith scholar or anything. There are a few things that we disagree with, especially in the cap and ball world. For example, he says that using lube felt wads is a must. I don't use lube felt wads, and I get pretty good performance and pretty good accuracy if I, could pat myself on the back a little bit. So I don't agree with everything that Elmer says, but one of the things he talks about, in particular with the 36 Navies, is conicals versus round balls. He is a big fan of round balls. He says he gets better groups, and it is a much more effective projectile on game. Now, I've heard this, but I didn't read it in that chapter, so I don't know if I heard it from somebody else or if I read it somewhere else, that Elmer says that he was talking to some Civil War vet once upon a time, and they said they'd fill up the chamber with powder, and they'd slam a ball on it, and that's what they ran. Well, I didn't read that in the book. So I don't know where I heard that. What he does talk about is how a round ball, is a lot more effective on game than a conical. A conical will punch a hole right through it, whether it's a critter or a combatant, I suppose. Where a round ball is a lot more detrimental, makes a bigger, badder wound channel, and so on. So he's a big fan of the round ball. As far as how it would work on an enemy combatant, I don't know if it would really make a difference. I can tell you in my personal experience, limited as it may be, that both round balls and the 140 grain conicals do the trick on small game just fine. I haven't had to use any on an enemy combatant, and I don't plan on it. So you'll have to ask somebody else as far as how effective that is. But in my experience, both the conical and the round ball do the trick on small game just fine. And since, according to the numbers, it's really, really close to your run-of-the-mill 38 special, I would come out and just say that the 36s, depending on how you load them, of course, are not exactly wimpy or anemic. So, as usual, folks, if you thought this video didn't suck, do me a favor and hit the like button. Consider subscribing. And if you did think it sucked, go make your own damn video.
Yeah, I think you got it.
I think I got a hole in it that time.
You're gonna be mad. I wasn't able to get you and the cup in frame at the same time.
Naturally.
But it was all one shot. But you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
It was a solid hit.
There you go.
Oh, but I didn't get it in film.
No, I got it on film.
Oh, you didn't get me?
I just didn't get it. It goes away from you, and then you're like